Mr. Mayor, it's 6 p.m.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Let me call to order the City of South Fulton, Georgia zoning public hearings dated Tuesday, November the 9th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Roll call. Your Honorable William Bill Edwards, Mayor.
Here.
Your Honorable Catherine F. Rowell, District 1.
Present.
Your Honorable Carmalitha Gumbs, District 2.
Present.
Your Honorable Helen D. Willis, District 3.
Present.
Your Honorable Naeema Gilyard, District 4.
Present.
Your Honorable Corey A. Reeves, District 5.
Accounted for.
Your Honorable Councilmember Khalid, District 6. And the Honorable Mark Baker, District 7.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
First item, please.
First item is case number Z21-012. Council to consider a rezoning from AG1 to Sub-A to CUP for property located at 0 Stonewall Tell Road for the purpose of developing an age-targeted single-family subdivision. This item is located in District 2 and was deferred at the September 14th, 2021 meeting. Staff.
Thank you, and good evening again, Mayor and Council. The item before you is Z21-012, rezoning located at Stonewall Tell. Next slide, please. The petitioner is requesting to rezone the property from AG1 and Sub-A to CUP. The petitioner has been in communication with our Public Works Department to speak in regards to the improvements that are necessary for Stonewall Tell and Hamilton Road. The proposal for this site is to have 23 homes, which allows for the maximum density of less than 29 homes. So therefore, it'll be only one entrance to this particular development. As mentioned, this is targeted to have a development for individuals of 55 and above. Next slide, please. So here you're seeing an aerial of the site at Stonewall Tell and Campbellton Road. You're seeing it where the red dot lies. It's near the area where it intersects with the existing developments, well, the soon to be existing developments of subdivisions on the other side. Next slide, please. So here you're seeing two separate development maps. You're seeing the zoning map that identifies the current zoning as well as the future land use map on the right. Next slide, please. So here you're seeing the development of the particular site. On the left, you'll see the how the homes are aligned to allow for the future land use for the staggered homes. And then you're seeing on the right, you're seeing the 23 homes that are allowing for there to be the layout for the one road that I identified. Next slide, please. You're seeing aerials for the location.
This is senior. This is senior homes.
I'm sorry, these are elevations for the senior housing that we're speaking of right now. Okay, so this proposal is in line with the future land use. Traffic calming measures have been aligned to be placed within this development. And staff has identified conditions that we have placed into your packet to allow for there to be conditions placed on this site. And we ask that should you vote for approval of this item, you allow for those 9 conditions to be identified within the rezoning, as it mirrors the opportunity for the Planning Commission's approval. That concludes staff report at this time.
Okay. Mr. Clerk?
Yes, I believe the applicant is on the line
Is she?
with our presentation.
Okay. Applicant, please come on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, before I get started, if I would be able to get privileges to share my screen. But while that's happening, my name is Danny Blumenthal. I'm with Battle Law PC on Habersham and Northlake in Tucker, Georgia. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still unable to share my screen. I think that whoever's sharing the screen now needs to.
Mr. Clerk, can you allow her to share a screen?
Sorry. Thank you so much. Sorry, I wanted to be able to show you this. So, of course, as Ms. Reed explained, I'm here to talk about the proposed rezoning of 0 Stonewall Tell Road and 0 Campbellton Road. The purpose of this, Venture Communities LLC, who's the applicant, is seeking to rezone the subject property from AG1 and Suburban A to CUP to allow for 23 single-family detached homes, which would be age targeted at 55 and up. So other local communities in which Venture Communities has established include Barrington Trace, Wolf Creek, Wind Creek Estates, and Milestone. And while I know your vote is this evening, if you have not had the opportunity, feel free to visit their website at venturecommunitiesga.com to see some of their projects locally and also further outside of the area. So here's the Google Earth image. This is inverted from what Ms. Reed showed, but we are just in this top left-hand corner up here, right at the corner, just abutting this subdivision. So the zoning map, it is zoned. So you can see we're right in the corner down here. So it's zoned primarily agricultural, but also for some single-family dwellings as well. And then the future land use is suburban neighborhood, in which we are consistent with this proposal is, so this is not something we're seeking to change. So here's the site plan. As you can see, it's a fairly small subdivision here of 23 homes. It's just under 10 acres. There will be internal sidewalks, street trees, the homes will be staggered to kind of get rid of that monotony or to avoid monotony there. And then also, I'll go to the next slide here. You'll have a better, if I can move this out of the way, a better view. There's an amenity area as well for the future residents to enjoy. That'll be walking trails, a fire pit, a pavilion, and a dog park. And of course, you can see here on the bottom of the site here, there'll be a detention pond just to avoid any type of runoff issues, anything like that. And again, you can see there's the interior street trees, sidewalks, and then the 2 cul-de-sacs as well. Here's just another view. You can see it's 5.6 units, acres of open space proposed. So you can kind of see that here. That's quite a bit of space. And then here are just some elevations. So you can see a really nice product with different colors, different materials that I'll go through at the end of the presentation. You can see here just some different versions of that. Some brick and fiber cementatious materials. This is what the amenity area is going to look like. You can see the dog park, the trails, the fire pit, the benches, and a lot of trees and greenery. So it'll be a really beautiful place. And then at this time, I'm going to mute myself, and there's a short video I'd like to show you. So please just watch, and at the end, I'll wrap this up. So hopefully that kind of gave you a better idea of what we're trying to do with this site. And then lastly, to address some frequently asked questions before we even get to that portion of this, some of the proposed building materials include board and batten, shake, lap siding, which will be all fiber cementatious materials, brick and stone. The unit sizes will range from 1,900 to 2,600 heated square feet. It'll be 2 and 3 bedroom units with 2.5 to 3.5 bathrooms, depending on which house plan you're looking at, each with a 2-car garage on the front of each home. Amenities will include, as you saw a few times through the presentation, that pavilion with a fire pit, dog park, walking trails, as well as a grass common area. It won't be a gated community, but there will be an option for homeowners to purchase a security system for their home. The anticipated list price will be $340,000 to $380,000. The anticipated building start date would be 12 months from rezoning, and then 14 months from rezoning to selling the homes. And these will be marketed not to investors in any way. Venture Communities, who's the developer here, does not sell to investors. Also, lastly, I would just like to say that we've been working with both Ms. Reed and Councilwoman Gumbs, and we have an additional four conditions that we're willing to accept, to agree to, based on their recommendations. But at this point, I'll conclude this portion of the presentation. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to hear them.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Gumbs?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we need to open up a public hearing. We did receive one comment.
I didn't see where this was a public hearing. You said agenda item. Okay. We'll open up the public hearing.
Okay.
All those for?
We did not receive any comments in support.
All those against?
We received one comment in opposition. The comment came from Sonia Patterson, who lives on Haley Circle in District 2. She states Z21-012. I have an issue with something that was included in the application package for this project. I take personal objection to the comment included in the packet that says that the area is not conducive to the higher end type product that some in the area are advocating for. Based on what? I find this comment very condescending. I have found the lawyer that this developer is using for their projects is very unpleasant to deal with. Every area in the country is experiencing an unusual spike in home values. So this comment seems entirely out of place. And frankly, if that is the sentiment, then why don't they just find somewhere else to build? You absolutely could have a project built from the ground up that would be reflective of some of the area advocates, but that is the developer care. That is developer care. We need to be in good relationship with the developers, and they need to listen to their communities. We are not interested in $300,000 price point homes community here. Please take this project elsewhere. End of comment.
Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Councilmember Gumbs?
Yes. I did speak with the developer about that that comment that was on the application. So that was a bit concerning. The conditions that we have proposed there are pretty decent, and I will read them to spread them over the minutes. I do that now, or should that be at the next meeting?
I think for the benefit of those who are listening, I would like to hear what those 4 conditions are.
Okay.
And
All right.
you will vote on it at the next meeting.
Or at the next meeting, so I would, yeah.
So we'll definitely go through it, and then also too there, even though we've added some additional ones, there is one thing that I am asking for. Well, a couple of things. After speaking with some other residents in the community, and I don't think these are heavy lifts, definitely if we can add the 20% cap to where, let me see, make sure I have the language correct. the 20% rental cap, adding that to their covenant for this development. And then also too, I know that we had some discussions about the floor plan, and being that this is a proposed 55 and up, I definitely would like to see an opportunity where there's possibly a master on the main. And I'm a big dog park person, but one of the things, I know you all are adding the lights to the walking trail, but also too for the dog park, you can add poopy stations and water stations as well. I know that the seniors will probably appreciate that. And the trees, when looking at your design with the trees in the front yard, what I've noticed is that with a lot of the trees, they overgrow and the grass ends up dying. So before you all decide what tree you will be putting in the front of the yard in regards to the landscaping, I would love for you to connect with our arborist to make sure that we're putting the proper trees in that will not overshade and kill the growing grass. Because if you go into some of the older existing communities, the large trees in the front and a lot of the grass has died. And making sure that we have a decent plan as far as landscaping for the monumental in the front. And those are included on the plan, but we will add those. So I am hoping that you all will support that in moving forward, this project forward. And you did put the traffic calming mechanisms in.
Okay, I don't know what order they came in, but I'm gonna start with Mayor Pro Tem Ms. Willis.
So I have a concern. I mean, if this is supposed to be senior housing 55 and up, I'm not understanding why it's not ranch level.
Oh.
I mean, I'm dealing with a senior now, and I see the struggles and the challenges that are being encountered on a ranch level house. So I can imagine what would happen if the house was split level. And so I just don't think it's realistic to just say put one master on the main. I think I just, you know, I'm just very concerning that we're doing a split level house and calling it a senior and making it suitable for seniors.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilman Reeves.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. What was the price point? The price points for these particular proposals was $340,000 to $380,000, correct? Or 380.
That's correct.
And it's a split level, so they have stairs, and it's not gated.
Yes, sir.
So, interesting factoid as we compare apples to apples. The tiny home development that we was just discussing is the same concept and same design, except it was 28 homes as opposed to the 23 here. Same amenities, smaller footprint, and the price point of those homes was $110,000 to $125,000, making it affordable for a senior to age in place in their own community. And these pretty much single family detached apartments, because on the same area where we just got a lot of opposition from tiny homes for 28 of them for seniors 55 and up, designated in perpetuity, so it would always remain that no cap. Is going to come with the security cameras to tie into the police, and they were going to be smart devices put in each home. And that same lot can be used for a 200-unit apartment complex. I just wanted to point that out, and this is suburban what, 1 or 2?
Now, this is what you're talking about is even germane to what we're discussing, Mr.
Yes, yes, it is. In every shape, form,
It's
fashion.
not.
Okay, let's not go there. Are you finished?
I'm done. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Gilyard, go right ahead.
Just a minute. Councilwoman Gumbs, I'm glad that you did mention the master on the main, because that was my question about, there not being cottage style one levels. So I'm at least glad that masters will be on the main. They probably need to have everyone like that, because in a matter of 7 years, the 55 and olders will actually be seniors, because 55 is really not senior, it's below senior. And I'm sure that developers are focusing on that age group, because some other things come with it rather than 62 and older, which is really a senior. But at least master on the main. I mean, that's okay. I would prefer, as a real senior, to have a cottage one floor situation. But I do believe that the price points could be kicked up more. And the reason why I say that is because as I move around and I go to places like Vinings and other places in Cobb County, and I see townhomes on top of townhomes, and they're starting at 4 something going up to 5 something. There's a market. There really, really is a market. And so I think that the anticipated price point should be kicked up some more. I really, really agree with that. And then lastly, I thought about where it is, and it's Stonewall Tell and Campbellton Road. So the good part about it is not too far from it is the new development on Campbellton Road. So at least there are some amenities in the area. What really bothers me is developing, homes and calling them senior, and then the seniors don't have any amenities close by. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Ms. Gilyard. Dr. Rowell?
Just to clarify, didn't they indicate age targeted? And if I recall in the meetings, did not the floor plan pretty much have everything on the first floor, including laundry? So really you have the guest rooms. That's a question for, I think it's Ms. Blumenthal. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. So the idea of these is kind of everything is on the first floor, but for kids, grandkids, people coming to visit, if you want extra space, it's there, but it's not a necessity to have to go there on a day-to-day basis. That's the idea with these homes, with the layout.
Right. I just wanted to offer that clarification, because I remember seeing that in your previous presentation, that everything really is on the first floor.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh boy.
Hey, Ms. Gilyard, would you mute yourself, please?
Yeah.
Are you finished, Dr. Rowell?
Yeah, I just wanted her to share that for the benefit of the public.
Couple of things for me. Ms. Blumenthal, would you explain the traffic calming devices that you've incorporated in this?
Yeah, so excuse me.
Based on your diagram, I don't see any.
Yeah, so those are not included in the site plan, but those are just based off conversations with so going on here, and excuse me, it's very small, but there'll be I can't even see it. But those are based off discussions with planning staff, as well as our own traffic engineers. And Dr. Rowell, thank you in the chat, put that there's a traffic light coming to Campbellton and Stonewall Tell from GDOT. So that will help mitigate the traffic there as well.
Ms. Reed? Ms. Reed,
Yes, sir, I'm present.
I'm not impressed with someone who says they're going to do something and I don't see it on the plan. Now, it's the second time you and I talked about this one this morning, and I just got the revised plan today. But it was Ms. Blumenthal who mentioned the fact that we're going to have traffic calming, but we don't have any on this plan.
Yes, sir. That was a part of my presentation, that there will be some traffic calming inside of this development. That was a part of my presentation.
Okay, well, the people who are gonna vote on this,
Mm-hmm.
they wanna see where the traffic calming devices is gonna be and what they are. That's what they're gonna have to make up their demands on. So I wanna put that out there. I also think that Mayor Pro Tem Willis is right. As we look forward, going forward with these homes that are supposed to be for people 55 and over, I would like to see myself. I would like to see them not be two-story or ranch style. Listen, I'm in one of them and I'm trying to get out. Ain't that right, Mr. Gilyard?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out. So I think as we consider, if I look at what Ms. Dr. Rowell has in her district, now she has two-story senior centers, but they have elevators. All right. And so I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know who's going to be on the main or whatever. I just think as we go in the future, as we talk about 55 and older, that we need to take that in consideration. Let me ask you this. Ms. Blumenthal, is there a bus route on this location?
Sir, I'm sorry. I'm not sure where the closest bus stop is to this location.
No, it's not.
Okay, so Miss Reed, I think that even though she's giving garages, I think some people will not have cars. And I think when we're in the mode of talking about senior housing, I think we have taken consideration medical, shopping, bus rides to make this. If it's going to be a what we call live-in place, I think we have to take those things in consideration. The other thing, let me get the staggered setback. These first two houses, 1, 2, and 3, are those staggered setbacks?
They all will be, but it's not measured exactly on this, but they will all be staggered.
Let me go back again. I feel that we shouldn't approve nothing if it doesn't say what it's supposed to say. Now, if all the houses going to be staggered, those 3 got to be staggered. Now,
Sorry, go ahead.
now let me finish. Let me finish. This little piece you got here going back in the woods here to what you call a pavilion. All right. How wide is that, and how does that intrude upon the acreage between the homes?
Could you rephrase that second part of your question?
So you got this little piece going back here to the amenities supposedly in the back, the dog park and everything.
Yes, sir.
Now you have certain amount of side setbacks, right?
Yes.
How much is that going to interfere with the side setback between those 2 houses?
We are not seeking any variances. It will not encroach upon the side.
They're actually by the variance. They're not actually by the variance. I'm saying there is an allowance between those houses. Okay.
No, I understand. Yes, sir.
So I'm asking you, how much of that are you taking away by running that sidewalk all the way back there?
That's what I'm saying. We're not, it won't be encroaching on the side setback. There will be at minimum undisturbed by any of that sidewalk or those trees, the minimum side setback on each home. And the size of the pavilion, I know you asked that, it'll be a minimum of 14 feet by 16 feet.
I didn't ask that, but that's good to know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ms. Gumbs?
Yes, Mayor.
I would like to see, I think I would like to see what she just said as a part of those conditions.
Mind holding it until we're able to get more detail, and I have a request for a ranch for floor plan. So if we can hold this for an additional month so we finish out what we need to finish out.
Well, I'm sorry, I just want to put my
decorative speed tables that we're asking for them to install as well.
One thing we have to do, and some of these folks who come in here all the time, they just do the same thing. All right. But we have to look at, if we're going to say 55 and older residences, we got to do something different. I mean, when I look at the plans of these houses, I don't see any different than what we've been having all along. When I'm looking at what the outside is going to look like. And so I'm saying that we need to do something a little bit different as we go forward, because they're not paying a little money for these houses. And so I just want to, if you would add that in. And lastly, let me say this. I'm not impressed with a gazebo. Norm, I'm too impressed with a dog park. All right. I want us to be serious about when we talk about, especially 55 and over, I want us to be serious about amenities, not just to make you feel good, but I'm talking about some real serious amenities that will promote the live in place attitude. So if you make that a condition for me, Ms. Gumbs, I may feel a little better. But I do thank you for looking for the master on the main. But I do think that we need to go to Rand-style home if you're talking about 55 and over. Okay. I have Ms. Rowell on, and then Mr. Khalid.
I know we have talked pretty extensively about communities needing amenity packets, but I do think we have to find a balance when you have a community like this that only has 23 homes and not putting a burden on seniors for monthly maintenance of whatever those, so being thoughtful about what that might look like in a smaller community so that they're not, overtaxed in terms of HOA dues because they have to maintain it. So I do think as we think about this, being mindful of that is something we should consider. And I know there was quite a bit of discussions. I think this particular case, it went before Sandtown and Cliftondale. But I do think we have to think about that for smaller communities.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rowell. Mr. Khalid.
Hey, thank you. Again, I agree with all of my colleagues. The traffic calming devices, I guess these would be like speed tables.
Yes.
All right. I am, very into those. The streets would be deeded back over to the city. Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's
these are public streets.
Okay. And so, because I know there was some conversation when we talked about putting speed tables in other communities, like who would maintain them. I'm assuming that once they're deeded back over to the city would be responsible for maintaining those speed tables.
Yes.
Okay. I would just like us to just make sure that, and I'm sure that it's already being done, but in case it's not, that we just talk with our public works department about the kinds of speed tables that are being put in if we're going to be maintaining them. And that is really it. And then there's just the one last comment. I do also agree with Mayor Edwards that we have to be thinking about when we're putting these communities in place. And as someone who used to drive a MARTA mobility bus for seniors and disabled folks, it is just worth remembering that they only travel within 3/4 of a mile of a bus stop. So if there is a bus stop within 3/4 of a mile of any community, seniors can request a MARTA mobility bus for $4 to take them anywhere in Fulton or DeKalb County.
And Mr. Khalid, I think you're right. When you ask the question about the speed humps, if they were on the plan, that question didn't even have to be asked. And so that's when I say, Ms. Reed, that everything should be on the plan. If you're voting on something, let it be on the plan. All right. Anybody else? Hearing none. Next item, please.
Yes, the next item is item 2, Z21 2022-013. Council to consider a rezoning for ONI to C2 for property located at 6150 Old National Highway for the purpose of an auto brokerage. This is located in District 6, and this is a public hearing.
Mayor and council, the petition before you is a request to rezone property from O&I to C2 commercial for the purpose of an auto brokerage office. Although O&I allows for office space, the commercial use obtained within the brokerage operations would require there to be a C2 zoning classification to allow for that. So that serves as the request for the C2 change. The C2 property or future land use is within our future land use map, therefore it's in compliance. Next slide, please. You're seeing here an area where this particular property is located, and it's located along Flat Shoals and Old National. Next slide, please. Okay, so on the left, you're seeing the zoning map for the current zoning of this site. You're seeing that it's within an O&I district. And then to the right, you're seeing the future land use that has a community live work destination. Next slide. Here you're seeing a site plan that identifies the location of the structure to the actual land itself. Next slide. And then you're seeing a street view of the property, how it looks from the street angle. Next slide, please. So staff originally during the Planning Commission meeting requested approval of this particular request with conditions. This particular site, we found that it would be conducive to allow for the request with the restrictions for what uses cannot go there. So what we decided to provide to you was a recommendation of approval with the exemptions that you're seeing here to say what it cannot be while allowing it to be an auto brokerage. Next slide, please. With that staff's recommendation of approval with conditions, the Planning Commission decided to have a different level of conditions. They decided to recommend approval, but only as an auto brokerage office and not with the restrictions shown by staff. So there's two different recommendations here. One would be to allow for the auto brokerage and then identify a list of uses that cannot be present, or for there to be no other use other than an auto brokerage for this location. Respectfully, the applicant sent a request to withdraw this request on yesterday. And so during your next meeting, you will be able to either accept the withdrawal, approve the request that you're hearing today with the approvals recommended by staff or by the Planning Commission, or to deny the request completely. This concludes my report.
Mayor Pro Tem Willis, the mayor's computer crashed, so I'm going to ask you to please take over the meeting until he restores.
I'm back on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Okay, where are we?
The presentation was just made. The applicant is requesting withdrawal. We do have one comment that was received for the public.
Did we open up the public hearing?
No, not yet.
Oh, let's do that. Anybody for?
We have one comment for, no comments against.
Okay, let me hit it for.
The comment is from Michael Venable, who lives on Montilly Circle in District 6. He states Z21-013. Though commercial designations on this east side of Old National Highway in this area are inconsistent with current development, and because of the requested use zoning designation, Planning Commission recommendation should be accepted. Although the use has to be C2, the recommendation for the single use automotive brokerage office only should be approved. This decision protects the community from undesirable uses and from any other use that would have to go through the public rezoning process. Approving the rezoning specific to the requested use, i.e. Planning Commission recommendation, is what should be approved in the comment.
Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Whose district is this? Is that Mr. Khalid? Go ahead.
It's mine. I have no comments at this time.
Okay, Anyone else? Okay. Next item.
Mr. Mayor and Council, that completes the zoning public hearing agenda. The next item is executive session.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. I'll entertain a motion for executive session.
We need to do it now or later.
Ma'am,
Do we need to do executive session now?
I think we have a lot of time between now and the next meeting, so it should be better to do it now, Ms. Gilyard.
Do we have anything for executive session?
I don't know. I'm just asking for a motion if we don't say it.
I don't
I
think
move
we have
that I move that we adjourn until 8 o'clock.
second.
Properly moved to second.
Third.
Properly moved to second. Vote please.
Roll call vote to adjourn. Councilmember Rao,
Yes.
Councilmember Gumbs,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Willis,
Yes.
Councilmember Gilyard,
Yes.
Member Reeves,
Aye.
Councilmember Khalid,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:41 p.m. We will reconvene for the 8 p.m. regular meeting. And please remember to change over in the Nova system. Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you all at 8 o'clock.
Okay, bye.
Recording stopped.